At the farthest edge of known space, Station Arclight drifted silently amid the cosmic abyss. Its soft pulses of blue light guided starships through the deadly nebula known simply as the Mire, a region of space notorious for gravitational anomalies and radiation storms. For nearly 2 decades, Keeper Sam Halford had tended this solitary beacon, alone with his thoughts, his duty, and the endless dark. It was a peaceful existence, monotonous but meaningful. Sam had grown accustomed to silence and isolation, but that peace was shattered when his comm unit crackled to life one quiet evening. "Please, anyone out there, our ship." The distress signal sliced through the silence, the voice distorted by static but undeniably desperate. Sam's fingers flew over his controls, adjusting frequencies to clear the transmission. It repeated, "Mayday, Mayday, vessel Pathfinder, engines failing, drifting deeper into the mire. Request immediate assistance." Sam's heart quickened. He recognized the name Pathfinder. It was an exploration vessel designed for deep space survey, never intended for hazardous regions. The mire was already dangerous enough within mapped boundaries. Beyond was certain doom. He opened comms. "This is Lighthouse Keeper Halford. Confirm your coordinates." Static filled his ears briefly, and then a strained voice replied, "Coordinates uploading now, please. We have families on board. Any assistance, please." Sam's eyes flickered to his terminal, dread pooling in his chest. They were deeper into the mire than any ship had ever ventured, and survived. The gravitational waves were intense there, radiation off the charts. A rescue was impossible. Everyone knew that. Protocol was clear. Log the distress call, forward to command, and stay put. Lighthouse keepers never left their posts. But the Pathfinder's plea echoed again through his speakers, a ghostly whisper heavy with desperation. Sam stood, pacing the dim, familiar room. The Mire had claimed countless ships, but he'd never actually faced the choice directly before. His entire job, his entire existence, had been defined by the light, by guiding others safely past danger, not diving into it himself. Yet, could he live knowing he'd done nothing? A flicker of hesitation crossed his face, followed by grim determination. He punched in a direct reply. "Pathfinder, this is Keeper Halford at Lighthouse Station Alpha. I'm coming for you. Hang tight." The station vibrated gently as he prepped the shuttlecraft. Sam methodically donned his heavy radiation suit, ignoring the automated warnings screaming about suicidal trajectories and critical thresholds. This decision was a one-way trip, and he knew it. But if he didn't do this, he wouldn't be able to look himself in the mirror again. The shuttle launched smoothly, its hull reinforced, designed for short-range repairs, not deep space heroics. Sam guided it steadily toward the distress beacon. Outside, radiation storms crackled silently, illuminating the void with brilliant but deadly beauty. As he entered the mire, the shuttle's sensors wailed in alarm. Sam shut them off. There was no going back now. "Hang on," he whispered into the comms. "I'm coming." The Pathfinder drifted lifelessly, engines cold, lights flickering weakly. Sam's shuttle maneuvered alongside, docking clamps shaking violently as gravity currents tore at the ship. The door opened with a metallic shriek, revealing frightened, exhausted faces, humans who'd thought no rescue would ever come. A woman stepped forward, voice trembling. You came alone?" Sam nodded calmly, unbuckling his harness. "Couldn't let you drift into the dark." The survivors stared at him in disbelief, gratitude shining in their eyes. But Sam knew the truth. They weren't safe yet. They might never leave the mire alive. But they weren't alone anymore. At least they'd face the darkness together. Sam took the controls again, setting course back toward the beacon, his lighthouse. Gravity waves slammed the shuttle violently, hull creaking in protest. Warning lights flared across the dashboard. Structural integrity compromised, the shuttle AI intoned emotionlessly. Hull breach imminent. Behind him, the survivors clutched each other, their faces pale but determined. Sam clenched the controls tighter. "Hold on," he shouted, his voice steady even as his heart raced. "We're almost there." The mire pulled harder, refusing to release its grip easily. Panels sparked, air hissed from unseen cracks. They were so close. The shuttle crashed hard onto the beacon's docking platform, skidding violently, sparks flying as metal screamed against metal. Hull plating tore away, venting atmosphere, but the shuttle stopped, just short of catastrophe. Sam exhaled deeply, dizzy with relief, then quickly guided survivors into the beacon's reinforced core. They were safe. but only for now. The mire had taken its toll. Back in his familiar seat, Sam listened quietly as rescue ships radioed in. The survivors rested quietly, grateful and alive, looking at him as their savior. He knew better. They were alive by chance, not design. Yet he'd done his duty, maybe not the one protocol demanded, but the one his soul had needed. The radio crackled to life, command demanding answers. He stared at the blinking transmission icon, hesitating only a moment. "I made a choice," he said clearly. "I chose to risk everything, and I'd do it again." He ended the call and looked out at the stars, breathing easier. He'd probably be court-martialed. He might never fly again. But in that moment, he had no regrets. He'd been the lighthouse keeper, the keeper of the light. Today he became more. He became a rescuer.